Christmas. A joyous time with a happy story slap bang in the middle of it, right? Wrong. Well, kind of. Let me explain. In the latest issue of Childrenswork magazine, we printed this amazing feature from Krish Kandaya on the dark side of the Christmas story, and I want to share a little bit of that with you. You see, there's this dark side to the nativity story that rarely gets a mention in our festive services. I've yet to see this part of the story feature on a Christmas card or on a tree decoration. But right at the core of the Christmas story is an episode of despair and tragedy, the slaughter of the innocents. Matthew's is the only gospel that describes the events. Here's what it says. When they had gone, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream. "Get up," he said. "Take the child and his mother and escape to Egypt. Stay there until I tell you, for Herod is going to search for the child to kill him." So he got up, took the child and his mother during the night and left for Egypt, where they stayed until the death of Herod. When Herod realised that he had been outwitted by the Magi, he was furious and gave orders to kill all the boys in Bethlehem and its vicinity who were 2 years old and under, in accordance with what he had learned from the Magi. This difficult Christmas passage includes 4 important reminders for our work with children and families. Firstly, Christmas is not a fairy story. Perhaps it's understandable that the mass killing of small children doesn't feature heavily in our Yuletide celebrations, but we should think twice before we sanitise the Christmas message and edit out the awkward bits. You see, either all of Scripture is God-breathed, or none of it is. Either we accept God on his own terms, or we don't accept him at all. Secondly, Christmas shows us that persecution is normal. God decided that his own son would be born during a brutal and cruel time in human history. Right from the start of his earthly life, Jesus is in danger, both from the Roman Empire and a despotic Jewish king. However old we are, we need to realise that following this Christmas child will also put our own lives in danger. It's important that we help children to grasp from the earliest age that there is a cost, a very real cost, to our own discipleship. Thirdly, Christmas reminds us that dysfunctional families are normal. Ironically, Christians have sometimes idealised the family. The expected norm is a neat, nuclear family with a mum, a dad, 2.4 children, and occasionally a dog. So it's strange that there are so few examples of this kind of family in the Bible. The first human family included both a murderer and his victim. The foundational family of the nation of Israel includes a barren couple who resort to surrogacy to find an heir and then estrange them due to familial jealousy. How very EastEnders. Christmas is a time when families are under pressure. More domestic violence incidents take place at Christmas than at any other time of the year. More suicides take place around this time because many feel so lonely. The Christmas story speaks hope into those fragmented family situations. God himself chooses to allow his own son to be born in turbulent times into a fragile and unusual family. Finally, Christmas reminds us of the need to protect the vulnerable. This Christmas, in light of the horror of the slaughter of the innocents, could we become even more sensitised to the plight of the innocents around us today? Remembering that Jesus himself was raised by a man who was not his own biological father, could we consider how we, the church, can show compassion to those in our towns and cities who have no families that are able, or in some cases willing, to look after them? There are 4,000 children in the UK still waiting for adoption. Children who are considered too old, too troubled, or too damaged to be given the love they need. While we are listening to one more cosy Christmas sermon, sprinkling more glitter and distributing the crowns for more colouring sheets, let's not forget those for whom the dark side of Christmas is still a current reality. Merry Christmas from Premier Childrenswork magazine. Have a really great one, but also in the midst of that time, try and remember those for whom Christmas will not be merry this year.